ISKCON Coventry presents the Sunday Devotional Broadcast. Welcome and be inspired. Harry Ball. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Welcome to the viewers. We have something special in store this Sunday, and we're adding more and more bits to make it interesting for you. But please remember, all this is to attract you to Krishna. And one of the main items we have to present is the Mahamantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And that was Lord Chaitanya's wish that in every town and village, this name should be sung. And due to COVID-19, we thought it won't be possible to do that, but actually it's bigger than before. People are broadcasting all over in the space, everywhere, connecting with each other and chanting the Mahamantra. And the saint who brought this to the West was Srila Prabhupada. And once he went to America, he went all over the world. And whenever we start a program, we pay our homage to Srila Prabhupada. And tonight, the Temple President, Vidhu Prabhu, will be doing the Aarti to start the program. So over to Vidhu Prabhu. Jai Ho.
Hi, Haribol, all devotees, welcome. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Bandho Mui Savadana Bhate Bandho Mui Savadana Bhate Yara Prasade Vai Eva Vatoriya Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoide Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoide Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitite Koriya Arana Kuriyo Mani Asha Arana Kuriyo Mani Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Esayutama Gati Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakudana Dilo Ye Janme Janme Prabhu Se Divya Gyan Rede Prokashito Divya Gyan Rede Prokashito Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Avidya Vinashayate Prema Bhakti Yaha Hoite Avidya Vinashayate Vedegaya Haracharito Vedegaya Haracharito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Lokenata Loke Rajivana Loke Nata Loke Rajivana Aha Prabhu Kuru Doya Diho More Pada Chaya Aha Prabhu Kurudoya Deho More Padashaya Evayasha Gushu Tribhuvana Pate Leila Sharana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Gurudev Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gora Preman Hari Bol, Jayam Vishnupad, Paramamsa, Parvijakajari, Ashtotra Shastri Shivan, His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON DVD Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gora.
Thank you, Vidya Prabhu. That was wonderful. And as you can see, in every ISKCON devotee's home, there's either a murti or picture of Srila Prabhupada, and we pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada before we start our prayers, all the devotional service. Srila Prabhupada is so important. And on Saturdays, we have this ISKCON book club, and we're doing a moment nectar of devotion. And it's amazing, you know, little children are picking up the points which Srila Prabhupada has written down. And instead of us telling them, the children are telling us what the point is and how interesting the point is. So you don't have to be really old to understand Srila Prabhupada's books. You can be any age and get the revelation, the realization at such a young age. You know, I remember I joined ISKCON when I was 24, 25, and we have children who are born in the families who've been coming to the temple, and they're making the points, which I didn't realize till much later. So there's great hope for these children. So please, if you can join on Saturdays, the book club, and Anuragi will be able to give you details. It's very, very good. We systematically read the books called Svadhyaya. And that way you'll understand, you know, what is our dharma about. Otherwise, we claim to be Hindus. And if I ask you what is Hinduism, you won't be able to answer. But when you read the Prabhupada's books, you definitely know Sanatana Dharma, religion of everyone on this planet, even ant to Lord Brahma. What is their dharma? So Prabhupada did a great service. Now, Srila Prabhupada also taught us that we should do kirtans and bhajans, glorifying the Lord. And we are very, very fortunate that, you know, some of our members are very good singers and they can do nice kirtans. So there's Prem Prakash Prabhu and Ishani Mata. So we go over to them and let's see what they have for us in store for Krishna Bhajan. So over to Prem Prakash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Apologies for mistakes. Thank you so much. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, that was beautiful. Well done, Aradhya. You started so good there. Ishani and Prem Prakash Prabhu, that was really nice. And it's lovely to see a family together and doing glorification of the Lord. And that's what Lord Chaitanya wanted, Srila Prabhupada wanted, started the Namhatas. And I remember when you were coming initially, you were asking questions and everything. And now you're leading and doing such lovely satsangs. Thank you so much for that. And, Krishna had so many friends. And when Lord Chaitanya was here, everybody wanted to be his friend. In fact, he had to tell, his friends, please don't surround me so much. There were thousands and thousands. We can't do without friends. And same goes for, in our temple here in Coventry. We are missing each other's associations. So we thought, we can't meet them face to face. So how about on the camera? So today we have this special item called Friends Corner. So, now, the advantage of calling the friends on the camera is you don't have to offer them anything to eat or drink or anything, so you save money. No, I'm only joking. It would be lovely if they were in the room. We would offer them all these things. We're very hospitable sort of devotees. But on this occasion, it'll be a dry conversation. So I would like to call on Pragnesh Prabhu. So I consider him as my friend. And I don't know whether he thinks I'm his friend or not, but we'll find out. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I'm too scared. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
That's right. I'm too scared of you to tell you you're not my friend. I fear you too much to say you're not my friend.
Well, I gave you £5 the other day to say yes. I have a question for you. What made you interested in religion?
My family upbringing, Prabhuji, to be honest. My father was very spiritual, as you probably will remember. He was a very religious person, and I think they say you're a product of your environment. And my environment was very religious. My father did pujas and events, and was very strong in the community. We had lots of sadhus, sants, and saints that came to our house, and we were very blessed as a family. My house was like a temple. Wow. And we were very lucky. We've got we've got deities in the house. My parents do daily puja, and within the Hindu religion itself, it's quite religious. I was brought up in a very religious family, so my religion comes from my family background.
And would you say the same about the rest of your family, like brothers and sisters? They also following the same way as you are, or they're slightly different?
To a lesser extent, I think they always say that there's one person that takes on sort of the baton, and I think that's me within my family. Really, I think I've got those traits from my father. I think my sisters may have wealth and success, where I have religion. So they have their own things with their families and so on. But I was very lucky to have that upbringing with my father, who was very connected to the ISKCON movement. I remember you telling me stories of my father in Kenya.
Yeah, I used to see him in Eldoret. He would ride a bike. And he's so friendly. He would wave at anybody, would go past, whether he knew them or not. And I actually learned it from him to be friendly with, even I do the same. When I'm going, somebody looks my way, I'll just, raise my hand. And I remember your father every time. He was very, very friendly. He used to love kirtans. I remember he joined us from one Janamastami. He, carried the kirtan very nicely. I'm going to ask you another question. I'm taking a risk here. What attracted you to our temple?
Oh, that's a good question. You did. That's £10 you owe me now, not £5. Give me the money. I've always had an association with the ISKCON organisation. Obviously through you and my father's connection historically. As a young youth, I actually went to stay at the Manor for a weekend. I remember that as an experience, and stayed with the devotees there. We went to central London and did Hari Kirtan or Harinam, which was very nice. So, I've had throughout my life, I've got pictures of my father giving the first calf at the Manor from the temple in Coventry. So the connection's always been very strong with the temple there. But it's a family, isn't it? And that's the beautiful thing about the Coventry temple. From dear to Diksha at the youngest, they're now taking over from her brother, basically doing the pujas and so on. I mean, and then to dear Ramlakan, who's no longer with us at the other end of the extreme,
Yes.
that would basically be in the kitchen. So it's certainly, when you walk in there, you feel like you know everybody. And even if somebody new comes, you feel comfortable welcoming them and offering them prasad and so on. So it's a lovely environment. And I equate the temple in Coventry like gospel. You get these gospel churches where people are singing and dancing and enjoying themselves.
Yes.
That's the temple to me. Because there are other temples in Coventry, and there'll be two old people sitting there at the Aarti time, and it won't be very exciting. So, there isn't much energy, but the Coventry temple, driven by yourself and all of the other lovely devotees, feels, you feel like, you've done a lot of exercise in one evening, really. And it's a lot of fun, and that's what you bring to it. And it's a lovely thing.
So now a personal question. I mean, what service do you do at the temple, and why are you doing that? I mean, and do you get satisfaction doing what you're doing?
It's a good question. It's basically all the work you've given me is rubbish. That's all I want to say with starting off, really. It's all rubbish. All the work you haven't given me any non-rubbish work. So, I mean, from your training, Prabhuji, which I genuinely appreciate, we've gone from going into the grease trap in the kitchen, which isn't a pleasant experience by any sense of the means. No, it's horrible. But basically, to the toilets and the cleaning. So it's all of the services within the temple, but you've always led by example, and that's what I've always respected about you, to be honest, because I remember the times you've been, you had your kurti rolled up, and basically with your wreath, and you're in there doing it and hanging off the trees, chopping down the branches and stuff. You're thinking on the roof. So you led by example, and you do continue to lead by example. So it's very difficult to say I'm not doing that when you're doing it yourself. So. And it's all lovely service that you're giving us, to be honest.
And you have a knack to attract others into the service as well. How do you do that? And anybody new comes, before I know it, he's helping you. How do you do that?
Yeah, pay them vastly with them. There's a lot of cash. No, it's the attraction of yourself. I can't take any credit. It's the attraction of the lordships and you leading by example, which I'm learning to do as well. So, and we're very lucky that the temple attracts a lot of people that want to do service, that see that you're enjoying service and feel the rewards as we do, really, in doing it. You enjoy the service, you feel the inner calm and peace and reward from it.
Yeah.
And you feel part of it. You feel.
Yeah. By cleaning the temple, do you feel yourself like purified? Because that's what they say. If you do that,
100%. You're cleaning your heart. You're not really cleaning the temple, Prabhuji. And we all, you said this to me, and I feel it. When you're cleaning your soul, you're removing all of your sins by being in that temple and doing the more dirty the job, the more you're benefiting from that service. I mean, do sweeping up around here, you're not really going to get much benefit. So you're getting that grease trap and get the grease out by your hands. Then you're really, removing your sins and cleaning your heart, and you feel that inner peace afterwards. Because we always try and take discussion before and after the opportunity where we can to feel that reward from just seeing the days and realizing why we're there to serve the lordships.
One thing I admire about you, you're very reliable. You see, every time Vidhu rings you, I ring. I know you're not going to just dodge the commitment. You're always saying, okay, I'll do that. And immediately you start to plan. I must give you 10 out of 10 for that commitment. And we could do with more people like you. And you do have another friend called Kiran. I think I'm going to call him next.
Before you go to Kiran, basically, I want to appreciate a few other people because, Kiran's the current man, but we've had a legacy of people that have been around us and made it a pleasure. So I think it's only fair that we remember them. So there's Krishna Raju Prabhu. I don't know whether you remember Krishna Raju. He sort of disappeared overnight.
Yes.
He was a lovely sevak. And then Dinesh Prabhu is now hiding in India at the moment. But I think he's trying to get out of the service, but we'll drag him back. But he's in lockdown at the moment. I mean, Mahesh Prabhu is around. Jayashree Mataji is still coming on, when she can to do sweep around. And Bhattaba Mataji does a lovely service in the kitchen, which, her commitment to making the Lord's kitchen, the Lordship's kitchen lovely is unbelievable. So, but we're led by example by people like yourself and,
don't forget Lilu Mataji.
No. Say again?
Lilu Mataji.
Leela Matu, Leela, there are so many people, probably. It's, you know, it's unfair to name them, and I can only name the ones that I can remember. But you're so right. There's, you know, each one of those people deserve all of the blessings that they receive from the Lordship for the lovely service that they're doing, and it genuinely is appreciated. But people like yourself and Anuragi Mataji and Vidhu Prabhu and you know, all of your team, you lead by example. And you know what we're doing is only a small percentage of the service that you offer day and night to the temple. So we appreciate it.
I'll have to cut you in there because we're going to bring on Kiran now. And Kiran Prabhu, where are you? Kiran there? Okay. Can we have Jai Radhe? If you're having difficulty with Kiran. Oh, there's Jai Radhe. Hello, Jai Radhe. I know there's one devotee who misses the temple like anything, and that's you. Because even in snow, when it used to snow and all that, you would still come, leave at, I think, about 4 o'clock or something in the morning, or even before. From Rugby, you would travel to do the Mangal Aarti and then do the cooking, and you'll be at the temple till 10 o'clock, and you have 2 children and husband and a business to run as well. So it's fantastic. So I'll ask you some of the questions. What attracted you to religion? Like, how come you feel, what made you become religious?
I was religious from my upbringing from back home, where in Africa, you know how the community is so closely knit, and you know, the temple is central, where you know they're performing all the festivals there. And being Gujarati, there's always the Gujarati side of it, where you bring all the festivals or the pujas that come during the year. And then when I came to the UK, I was just going to normal Hindu temples. And then when I met the Patidev, and he was following ISKCON. And then when he came, he introduced me to Krishna consciousness, and that's how I came into Krishna consciousness. So the religious side of it was always there from before, from a young age.
Yeah, and what made you attract to our temple?
We wanted to start going to a temple regularly, and the closest ISKCON temple to Rugby would have been the Coventry temple, and that's how we started coming to the Coventry temple on a regular basis.
What was your first impressions when you first came?
The kirtans were amazing.
Yes.
So instead of going to out in the night to go to a discotheque or something, you might as well come to the temple and have a rocking kirtan.
Yeah, and that's where you met your Guru Maharaj, no?
Gee, indeed. Krishna.
Do you remember first time you saw him, and what was running in your head?
That I wanted to be part of this family forever, and that yes, this is somebody that I want his hand to be on my head all the time and direct me to where I'm supposed to be going, and show me the path back to Godhead.
Yes.
Guru Maharaj, he's such a fatherly figure, and when it comes to him, I always get really emotional. So
yes,
I'll just say that I miss him.
We all do. And he used to spend so much time in Coventry, you know, 3 months at a time. And, you know, he would know everybody's names and the children's names and how they're doing. And, you know, he took personal interest in that, and also would be firm, you know, and our sadhana stays good. And we all miss him. But are you know, happy that you just continue doing what he started you with? Do you feel happy? Yes.
Definitely. That's why every book club, I'm stressing the point that I'm missing my service.
Yes. Okay, talking about service, what is your service at the temple then?
I do cooking service on a Sunday for the lordships, and that's mainly my service. I know it's a very little service compared to the others, how they devote their time, but at least I feel that Sachidananda Dai Chand have given me the mercy to allow me to cook for them, and Guru Maharaj's mercy to give me the initiation for me to do the seva in the temple. So
and when you're cooking for the Lordship, I mean, how do you decide the menu? Is it what you want to eat or what you think the Lord wants to eat?
Well, normally
I always wondered, not just you, how do the cooks work it out? What to cook?
Normally, I know generally what is the normal routine of the week in the weekdays, what has normally Wakana Prashad has been cooked. So I try to cook something different normally to that, because it's always sabji dal roti every morning, every evening. So I try to do something a little bit different. And I do plan a week ahead that, now next week, what should I start? What should I make for the Lordships next week? So during the week, I'm already making them, making the mental menu in my head that what I should be making for the Lordships the following week, and what should I do for them for that cooking.
And you're very special at making the cakes. And for me, ice cream. I remember Janmashtami always wait for your mint ice cream, the green one. And how did you learn that? Because you're very expert on those things.
A friend from back home had actually taught me. She's no longer here either. She's also passed away. But she taught me to make the basic ice cream, and then she said that you can just variate it with all the different flavors. So it's recipe from back.
One quick one before we get Kiran on again, and it is, how do you manage? You're running the business with your husband, the pharmacy, and with COVID-19 and children. Lockdown situation. They must be pulling at your hair. Mommy, I want this, I want that. How do you keep sane?
How do I keep saying? Till this time, from when the school closed down, the following week they've been going for childcare at school because school was still open for key workers' children. So on some days they would go to school and some days they stay at home. So the days they're at home, they're with their dad and I go off to work. And then on the days that I'm at home, then they're with me. So we've just been, hand in hand, switching over. Looking after the children and being busy with work, and work has been extremely stressful, but we're taking each day as it comes, Krishna's mercy. And with book club and this online YouTube Sunday programs keeping us sustained to where we're supposed to be rather than getting lost in the material world in this COVID-19.
Yes. Well, thank you for, taking time out to talk to us. I hope the viewers like this sort of conversation. We'll have other people as well. This way they can share this. And I like to bring on Kiran Prabhu. If you had a little difficulty with the internet, there you are. So, Kiran Prabhu, how are you doing today?
Haribol Prabhuji, very pleased to be with you. Sorry about the slight technical difficulties we had there.
No. We can see you now. So, were you religious all the time? I mean, your name Kiran is spelled differently. Where was your origins?
So I was fortunate to be born into an Irish Catholic family, Prabhuji, and Sunday church and Sunday school were the name of the day until I was about 16 years of age. I was baptized, confirmed at the age of 11. So that was the normal run of things really for me until about the age of 16.
Wow. And then, you do take interest in world religions, and you've really taken to Bhagavatam, and you have interest in doing Harinams and even a bit of preaching on the street. So what attracted you to our temple?
I guess it's a great opportunity to give my thanks, really. I went on to study theology at university, and while I was coming back to Coventry, I would often meet with our wonderful Mahatma Das while he was doing his book distribution in Coventry. And it was through him really that I was brought into the temple. He encouraged me to come along to festivals and Sunday programs, and I found him to be full of knowledge and always having the time to talk to me and entertain my questions. Also, I'm also very, very grateful to Keshav as well, who's gifted me the wonderful set of Bhagavatams that you might see behind me on the shelf. And I'm slowly making my way through them. Wonderful, wonderful books. And the temple itself is made by the community, really, of really, really wonderful people, from the joyful kirtaneers to those who spend time decorating the altars, which always look truly splendid. The Lordships always are literally wonderfully presented. And it's always a pleasure to be able to cast my eyes on those. It is like a little piece of heaven. I must also mention the transcendental prasadam that comes around as well. Those people who work in the kitchen are so very dedicated, and Sunday is always such a wonderful experience. I go home glowing, feeling extremely blessed every week.
Yeah, I like your humility and dedication. And then normally, if you get Western people coming to our temple, we're a little shy to give them some of the hard tasks. So recently, you've been helping Pragnesh Prabhu in the kitchen. So if you could tell the viewers what sort of things you've been fishing out.
Sure. Well, I'm very lucky to be receiving any service at all. So Pragnesh has become like an older brother to me, only slightly older, but an older brother nonetheless. And basically through his association, I've been able to get into the temple through this COVID time to do the odd jobs here and there. It's given me an opportunity to take darshan of the lordships, which I'm exceptionally blessed to be able to do, and also to steal a plate of prasadam at the end of it all. So I'm very lucky to have the service, and long may it last.
And the book club, which we do on Saturdays, how do you find them?
I love the book club. It's really kept me buoyant over this time. It's a great opportunity to speak to devotees like yourself who are very knowledgeable. And you always have time for the questions that we have, and especially people who are aspiring devotees, let's say. I would like to be eventually. And it's really through your kindness, the likes of yourself and Vidhu, who run the show at the book club on the Sunday, and everybody who takes part, from the children as well. I'm learning so much from the youngest of them all. I'm so very blessed, so very blessed.
Thank you so much. So we're running out of time, and we'll call you some other time again. We can talk more about the religious side of
Sure.
the question and answer side, because I always find your questions are very sincere. Because some people just ask questions to trap the speakers, but you always say, well, look, I don't understand this, or this is contentious, and that sort of thing. So thank you so much, and being part of this temple. Real friend. So thank you all the three friends who came on, and next week we could have some other people. It could be you. So be prepared. So now we're running a little late. We're going to get Jai Radha Madhav being sung by Nina Gaiwal, and she's agreed to sing for us. And then there'll be class afterwards. I'll introduce the speaker later on. Thank you so much.
Haribol. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Chanda Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha माधव राधे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय गुरु महाराज जय गुरु महाराज जय गुरु महाराज जय गुरु महाराज नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल 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 जय राधा माधव की जय प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय गो प्रेम नंदी हरि हरि बोल
That was so sweet. That was wonderful. You should sing more often. We got you on the list now. And the sound was very clear. So thank you so much. And regards to the family. Thank you. And now we come to the class for today. Is by Raghupati Prabhu. I would consider him my friend. His disciple of Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj is amazing. He's developed Delhi like anything. There's so many temples in Delhi. And they do the biggest bookstores, marathon, and the devotees are really fired up. And Raghupati is a scholar. He always has incredible points he presents, but very humbly, and he sings nicely as well. And in this COVID situation, we would like to know what is the point in hearing the Krishna's katha or stories. I mean, how do they affect us? I mean, do they make us devotees by hearing the stories? There's so many stories, Bollywood, Hollywood. Why Krishna's katha's stories are so special. So today's topic could be about the powerful effects of Krishna katha. So Raghupati Prabhu, over to you. Jai Ho. Pranam.
Thank you, Haridas Prabhu, and so nice to be with Coventry devotees. As you remember, I have been dipping in, logging in, and watching the programs that have been broadcast during this COVID situation. And personally, I have benefited from the programs that you have been broadcasting. So, unfortunately, it's a situation where we can't be in the temple, but you made it possible with the use of technology. And again, here we are today with Coventry devotees. So it's such a pleasure to be with you. And as Haridas Prabhu has so nicely introduced the topic, the powerful effect of hearing Krishna's pastimes, Krishna Katha. So I thought, because we are running up to Janmashtami, Balaram Jayanti, Janmashtami, Radhashtami, so all the great festivals are coming, and I thought this would be an appropriate topic to discuss the powerful effect of hearing Krishna Katha. So with the Mangalachan prayers, we will start our topic. Om Jnanatimrandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshulmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandho Jagatpati Gopeshi Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapti Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpitaru Bhayasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानंद माधव। श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम श्री गुरुम दीनतारण। In Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj has asked 6 questions from Shukdev Goswami, and as a result, entire Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. So one of the questions he asked is, Kritvan kil karmani sah ramen keshava atimartyani bhagwan gudha kapat manusha. He asked Shukdev Goswami that, my dear Lord, O my master, please tell me that along with his brother Balaram, what sorts of extra human activities the Lord performed, Krishna performed. So Kritvan kil karmani sah ramen keshava, ramen Balaram atimartyani bhagwan gudha kapat manasa. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, disguised as a human being, what sorts of activities did he perform? And as a result, we know that Shukdev Goswami then narrated Krishna's pastimes, starting from the first canto until in 12th canto, up to 12th canto. So entire Srimad Bhagavatam is full of Krishna's pastime. Our focus today is going to be the 10th canto, particularly Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. And in those pastimes in Vrindavan, Krishna killed many demons. So many demons were killed. In fact, our acharyas explained that actually morning, noon, and the afternoon. So they used to count the time just by the demons killing. So when a demon was killed, they thought, okay, time for breakfast. Another demon killed, all right, okay, time for lunch. And the third demon killed, okay, let's go home. So it was like that. Krishna killed so many demons because Kansa was so afraid that Krishna must be Vishnu and he is going to kill me. So Krishna killed so many demons starting from his very birth, and we are going to look at some of those demons and what these demons represent. So here we go. So this is a kind of overview of Krishna's pastimes as Janmashtami, Radhashtami, and Balaram Purnima are coming, and you will be hearing, chanting these pastimes. So I thought this will be a nice occasion just to give you an overview and also look at what this means for us as devotees. Okay, so now let me ask you to just meditate, close your eyes, and transfer yourself to Vrindavan. So you are in Vrindavan, and this is what is happening. Krishna's pastimes are happening in Vrindavan now. He is only a few days old. Krishna had just come from Mathura. His father has brought him to Nand Maharaj's house, and Krishna is only a few days old. And having heard from Ashtbhuji Durga that the person who is going to kill you has already been born. So Kansa was absolutely sure that Vishnu has taken birth. And he had appointed his demon friends to go around and kill all the children who were born in last couple of weeks. But particularly, he called for Putana. So Putana was sister of Bakasur, and she had mystic powers. Particularly, she is known as Baki. So she lived in the form of a Baki, kind of crane, but she had many mystic powers. So Putana in Krishna Leela is a really important figure because she is the one who stole Srimati Radharani. That's another pastime from a mount, from a mountain, and she brought her to Vrindavan. But that's another pastime. So in Krishna's pastimes, Putana plays a very important role. So she has been appointed because she has mystic powers to transform herself any form she likes. And this is one of the mystic powers explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Normally we know there are 8 mystic powers, Anima, Laghima, Garima, etc. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna explains 18 kinds of mystic powers. So Putana had those mystic powers, and she could transform herself. So Putana has been appointed by Kamsa to go around and kill all the babies who were born in the last couple of weeks, and Krishna was only 6 days old. So Putana, she devised a plan, and she thought, somehow or other, let me just go to Nand Maharaj's house, because there was news that some festival was happening there. So Putana devised a plan to go there. She had already killed so many babies, transformed herself as a very beautiful, angel-like, Apsara-like woman, soft-spoken, so beautiful, captivating in her beauty, and nobody could actually imagine that she had come with such horrific intentions. So as you can see from the figure here, Putana, although such an ugly demon, transformed herself into a very, very beautiful Apsara-like woman. So she comes to Nand Maharaj's house, and by her captivating beauty and speech, nobody stops her. She goes, picks Krishna up, and tries to breastfeed him. And on her breast nipples, she had put halahal poison. Halahal poison is the poison which can burn anybody who touches it. So she was intending that as soon as Krishna touches her breast, he will be burned to death, because this poison was so horrific, so strong. So she tries to breastfeed Mother Yashoda or Roni Mata. Nobody stops her. But what happens? Krishna knows her intentions, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he doesn't have to become God. There is a misconception amongst impersonalists, Mayavadis. They think that you can become God. But God does not have to become God. He is God from the day he appears, or even before he appears. Just like in the morning, the sun doesn't have to become sun. The sun is the sun. He only appears or disappears. So Krishna knew her intentions, and he sucked her breast, because that was given as if she was such a loving mother. So mother and child relationship is most sublime. In fact, Krishna tells Uddhava that the purest form of love in the material world is the mother. But then you find that in Kali Yuga, this motherly love is also abused. But Mother Yashoda is the ultimate limit of mother's love because of her devotion. She became the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So mother's love is the supreme, supremely pure, sublime. Krishna accepted her offering and he started sucking her breast. But alongside her breast milk, Krishna also sucked her life. So what does this demon represent? Putna, the very first demon who came to kill Krishna. This demon represents in a devotee's life the false conception of causing the death of creeper of devotion. So false conceptions which can kill our devotional service, they are represented by Putana. What kind of false conceptions? The false conceptions that God is impersonal, that God can be subjugated to Maya, this Mayavadi concept. So all sorts of false conceptions are the attempt to Putna-like people to kill God. And in modern days, scientists are doing that. Politicians are doing that. It's unfortunate that in a place on the holy land of Bharatvarsh, where Krishna appears, Lord Ram appears, people are questioning whether Krishna appeared or whether Lord Ram appeared. So it's very unfortunate. So these are all attempts to kill Krishna, Putna-like people. But they pose themselves, just like Putna posed herself as a mother. So these so-called impersonalist, atheist, they pose themselves as learned, very caring people, nice people, philanthropist, but ultimately their aim is to kill Krishna. So Putna is represented by these false conceptions about God that will kill God, or they will try to kill God. The second demon we are going to look at is Shaktasur. So Shaktasur, Shaktasur came in the form of a bullock cart. So bullock cart is inert, no life. So he came as in the form of bullock cart, and Vrindavan is a village. All the villagers, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, they are all engaged in serving Krishna. Their only meditation is how to please Krishna, how to serve Krishna. So Shakta also came in the form of a bullock cart where Krishna was lying. Mother Yashoda put him on the floor and Shakta also came. And his aim was to find a moment when there is nobody and then kill Krishna. Because Krishna was lying underneath this cart, Shakat. Shakat means this bullock cart. Asur is demon. So this demon took the form of this bullock cart and Krishna was lying there. Now what happens? Krishna, although playing a role of a baby, very young baby. When Putna came, he was 6 days old. Now, very young baby. But he knows the intention that this shakat or this bullock cart is not a bullock cart, this is a demon. So he simply kicked with his baby feet. And because of his kicking, this shakat, the bullock cart, was completely smashed. and that demon died. So Shaktasura represents the burden of old habits, or what Rupa Goswami calls is Niyamagraha. So devotional service has been initiated by our acharyas, and there are many great books: The Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Hari Bhakti Bilas, and so many other books in the literature our acharyas have given. But sometimes when Krishna is already lying, or Krishna is already looking after the creeper of our devotion, when we have these old habits, we just can't get rid of them. Many old habits. Then they become like Shaktasura, who is covering Krishna and intending to kill Krishna, killing Krishna or killing our devotion. I remember there's a famous actress who has been serving ISKCON, serving Krishna for many years. But sometimes they just can't get out of the old habits. And these old habits may be something simple, like drinking tea or coffee, or it could be maybe something bigger. But because of these old habits, they cannot take other further steps to become more dedicated devotee of Krishna. So that happens. This is another anartha or unwanted habit that can cover our devotion or try to kill our devotion. Trinavarta. Trinavarta is a whirlwind demon. So Trinavarta, again, all these demons were sent by Kansa to kill Krishna. Their sole purpose was to go to Vrindavan and somehow or other kill baby Krishna. So these anarthas, unwanted things, they also try to kill our devotion. They can also have the same effect. Therefore, we have to be very careful. Trinavarta came as a big cyclone, whirlwind demon, and he took Krishna away. In fact, he just lifted him, took him away, and his intention was to take him away, kill him, and then throw him. But Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he played as a young boy who was lifted. So Krishna was lifted, and when Shaktasura went in the sky, high in the sky, and wanted to kill Krishna, then Krishna started weighing high. So he was weighing higher and higher, and Shaktasura was feeling as if he was carrying a great mountain. So Krishna increased his weight to the extent that he could not bear it, and ultimately Shaktasura was crushed to death. Now imagine, somebody may say, oh, this is like fairy tale. This sounds unbelievable, inconceivable. But for Krishna, it's not. Just imagine, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, by his potency, he is moving the entire solar system, including the earthly planet, like a big blue ball floating in the sky. So Earth is simply like a small big blue ball floating in the sky, and there are so many planets floating in the sky. So it's not difficult for Krishna to take this, go with this demon in the sky and become heavier and heavier and crush him to death. Shakta's Trinavarta represents pride of learning, false argument, and dry logic. So those who maintain the pride of their materialistic learning, they are like Trinavarth, who are actually like a cyclone whirlwind and taking Krishna away and trying to kill him. So false pride, the pride of learning, materialistic logic, and speculation, argument, they must be avoided in Krishna consciousness. Now somebody may say that unless we establish devotional service on the basis of sound argument and logic, who is going to believe us? Yes, that's true. The argument and logic should be to establish devotional service, not to question the authority of scriptures. Just like Prabhupada also uses sound logic and argument when speaking with the scientists, with philosophers, or with learned people. But his aim is to use logic and philosophy to establish Krishna's supremacy, not to doubt the scriptures. But on the other hand, we see that there are so many so-called learned scholars who try to kill Krishna by commenting on the holy scripture like Bhagavad Gita. So many scholars have used Bhagavad Gita to remove Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. Let me give you some examples. One so-called politician wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and in the very first beginning he says that the battle of Kurukshetra never happened. So then Bhagavad Gita becomes pointless, because it becomes suspicious that if Bhagavad Gita, the battle never happened, then Gita was never spoken. Then he says that 5 Pandavas are like 5 senses. Krishna is the intelligence, and Arjuna is the mind. So that way, he has removed the possibility of Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the battle never happened. It's allegory. It's simply mythology. So those who use their intelligence and doubt Krishna, doubt the scriptures, because of their pride of learning and dry logic and false argument, they are like Trinavarth demon, whirlwind demon, who create such havoc and take away Krishna. Just like these so-called scholars, they try to remove Krishna, take away Krishna from Bhagavad Gita. Next demon, these are not demons. 2 sons of Kubera, Yamalarjuna. So these 2 young men, they were sons of Kubera, who is the treasurer of the demigods. So he is in charge of all the wealth that demigod had. By the mercy of Lord Shiva, Kuber became the chief treasurer of the demigods. So because there's so much wealth, prosperity, these 2 sons of Kubera, Nalkubar Manigrib, they become totally intoxicated with material prosperity. And they took to intoxication and woman hunting. So in the holy sacred land of the Himalayas, the Kailas Parvat, the abode of Lord Shiva, in the holy river of Ganga, these 2 were sporting naked with young girls. And when Narad Muni came, they were so intoxicated that they did not see it appropriate to cover themselves. So Narad Muni cursed them to become trees. In the material civilization, now there are people who are putting this argument forward, that it's my body, I can do whatever I want to do with my body, which includes not even covering the body properly. So these two sons were cursed, they became trees. When they were cursed by Narad Muni, then they came to their senses and they started crying. The Narad Muni said, okay, you will become the trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And by the mercy of Krishna, you will be delivered. Kuvera atmajo baddhamurte vadyat, tvaya mochito bhakti bhajo kritocha. Tatha prema bhakti sukame prayacha, namoksha griho masti damodareha. So Damodar pastime comes in the month of Kartik, and we sing this Damodar Ashtakam, this pastime. Kuvera atmajo baddhamurte vadyat. So Krishna is so kind that he delivered these two sons of Kuvera, and not only he delivered them, but he gave them pure devotion. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although as a young boy, he was just a toddler, but just by pushing the grinding mortar in between these two trees, Yamal Arjun is a type of tree. Yamal means twin, so twin trees. And then he removed these trees, and from those trees, these two demigods appeared who offered beautiful prayers to Krishna. So these two sons of Kuvera, what do they represent? They represent great wealth, illicit sex, alcohol, loose speech, shamelessness. So these kind of propensities must be avoided. The devotees must not become proud, because sometimes by Krishna's mercy or by some good fortune, there may be a lot of opulence. Or sometimes there may be positions. So devotees at any time must avoid the loose speak or shamelessness and the pride. And of course, we follow 4 regulative principles, so they must be avoided. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of more demons because I'm conscious of the time. So maybe just 1 or 2 more demons. Vatsasur. Vatsasur found out that Krishna likes small calves. Cows are nice, but until Krishna becomes 6 years old, he is given the responsibility to graze the calves. So Vatsasur also saw that Krishna is so beautifully playing with his friends. He is so affectionate to them. And he likes them so much. He loves them so much. So Vatsasur took the form of a calf. But his intention was to kill Krishna. So Krishna then killed Vatsasur, and Vatsasur represents greed and sinful activities caused by greed. So the devotees are very, very careful not to become greedy, even if Krishna allows us the opulence, but not to become greedy or commit sinful activities when there is opulence. Bakasur. Bakasur is the demon who came in the form of a crane. He posed himself. So the buck or the crane is known as a false guru. What does the buck do? Bakasur actually came in this form and he just stood there silently, meditating. This is what the cranes do. They meditate, they stay on the bank of a river and they simply stay there very silently, meditating on the fish. So as soon as they see the fish, immediately they swallow them up. The meditation of a buck or a crane is considered a very high-class meditation. There are symptoms of a student. According to Subhashitam, a Sanskrit saying, Kak chesta bako dhyanam shwananidra tathivacha swalpahari grahatyagi vidyarthi panchalakshanam. There are 5 symptoms of being a good student. So the first symptom of being a good student is Kak chesta. A student should always try like a crow. So crow is known for trying again and again and again. So a student should be like that. Even if you don't understand something, you have to try again and again and again. And second one is Bako Dhyanam. A student should have the power of concentration like a crane. So crane is known for its concentration or meditation. So this bagula or buck you see in the ponds, near the ponds, they stand very silently, meditating, concentrating on the fish. And as soon as they see the fish coming to the shore or the bank, immediately they swallow them up. So Bakasur represents pseudo-guru. There are too many of them in Kali Yuga. The pseudo-gurus are cheating religion. That's so many of them. Nowadays in Kali Yuga, it's a propensity for anybody to start a kind of system, religious system. As long as you can speak in a convincing way and bring some kind of philosophy, then people follow. And there are so many of them in Kali Yuga. And particularly in the religious sector or even the self-help industry, there are too many of them who claim to give you a good life, give you happiness, wealth, prosperity, perfection. But ultimately their only aim is to swallow you up, just like a buck crane, or take your money away. So that's Bakasur. Okay, now Kaliya Daman. That's another famous Leela Krishna performed, Kaliya Daman, the snake. So Kaliya was a great snake living in Yamuna, in Vrindavan. Now Kaliya happens to be a very, very powerful snake with many hoods, and this is a very famous pastime, Kaliya Krishna pastime. And he was living there because previously he was driven out by Garuda. So Garudaji, Krishna's carrier, bird carrier, he likes to eat snakes. And particularly he likes big snakes. So he was hunting for big snakes. This Kaliya was living in an island which is in Fiji now, in the country Fiji. In Fiji they have Kaliya temple, in fact Kaliya Krishna temple. So Garudaji was in Fiji and he wanted to eat this Kaliya up for lunch. So Kaliya, out of fear of Garuda, he came to Vrindavan. Why? Because this Kaliya is not an ordinary snake. This Kaliya is a very, very powerful snake. And in his previous life, he was a yogi. So he's a very powerful snake. and he has mystic powers. He knew that Garuda cannot go to Vrindavan because of Saubhari Muni's curse. So Garuda cannot go to Vrindavan. One time Saubhari Muni cursed Garuda because Garuda used to go and eat the fish from Yamuna. So he cursed Garuda not to come there. So Garuda doesn't go there. So since Garudaji doesn't go there, Kaliya thought that Vrindavan is a safe place. So he came to Vrindavan. Now because he is so poisonous, his living in Yamuna made entire Yamuna become so poisonous. So much so that even the birds that will fly over Kaliyada, that place where he lived with his wives, was called Kaliyada. So even the birds who smoke or who breathe the smoke from Yamuna, they would die. It was so poisonous. So then Krishna goes. Krishna goes there because he wanted to remove the fear of cowherd boys and Brijvasis. And he could not see the fact that Yamuna had become poisonous. And Brijvasi was afraid of going to Yamuna. So then Kaliya, Krishna goes there, and because the pretext of his ball going to Yamuna, Krishna jumped into Yamuna and he played with Kaliya. So Krishna played with Kaliya for some time, and then he danced on Kaliya. When Kaliya realized that actually Krishna cannot be subdued, so Kaliya surrendered himself, and then he was ordered to leave Vrindavan. So this is the last demon we discussed. Kaliya represents the pride, deceit, cruelty, harming others. So with such propensities, a person cannot live in Vrindavan, and therefore Kaliya was banished from Sridham Vrindavan. So today we just had a very brief overview of the demons that were killed by Krishna in Vrindavan. Now, before we finish, I just want to point out that Krishna's Ras pastimes, Ras Leela, did not happen until all these demons were killed. So, the lesson to take away is that Krishna's Ras Leela will not happen, or Krishna will not appear with those beautiful pastimes in our heart until and unless we remove these demons from our heart. So as we aspire to become a devotee, Krishna's devotee in Vrindavan, we have to pray to Krishna to remove these demons from our heart. Okay, I'll stop here and I'll see if there are any questions or comments. If not, then we stop here. So thank you very much, and Hare Krishna.
Yeah, well, that was wonderful, Raghupati. I do have a question, although we're running a little late. And the question is, these anarthas, they are within us in every devotee. And so the way you explain and the way the acharyas have explained, it is important that the devotees get to know those demons within themselves, because they're going to come out and tackle the very Krishna they love. So, the way you explain is very good. So because we ran out of time, we're going to invite you again to finish off the rest of the demons, so then we can actually hear the Ras Leela later on, get rid of all the demons. And they call Bhadra Leela. It's auspicious. And then the ones with the gopis is called Subhadra Leela. So unless Bhadra Leelas are finished, Subhadra Leela can't come in there. So that was very, very nice. And we ran out of time. Otherwise, I think we're going to call you again sometime. So thank you so much. Jai Ho.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
So there you are, Raghupati Prabhuji, so nicely explained the demons, you know, and you can see, you know, these are not just stories, they relate to you personally. Your Krishnas are within your heart, the demons are within your heart, Vrindavan is within your heart, and actual Vrindavan is in Bharat. We go there often, and you can feel the vibrations. And those places where the demons were killed, Keshi Ghat, you can go there and see them as well. Now, talking about Krishna, Krishna loves to eat. And we did something last week, which was amazing. We introduced a chef, and it's called Chef's Corner. So we're going to go now and talk about, you know, what the chef has got for us today.
Haribol, welcome to Chef's Corner, Krishna's Delight.
So, Guru Sevak Prabhu, now, how have you handled the success of last week? What amazed you about it?
It was quite unexpected, to be honest. And I think there was a really good response to the video. And a lot of people actually did try to make the bread. And especially on Ekadashi, they actually tried to make it as well, as did we. And with some very, very nice results. And I feel a bit bad because it didn't feel like Ekadashi. So, although people would have been wanting to have bread on Ekadashi, once we had it, it was like, you can't tell the difference between Ekadashi and a normal day. But ultimately, the point of Ekadashi is to focus on the Lord. So if you're not focusing on, oh my God, tomorrow I'm going to eat a toast and something like that, at least it gives you more time to focus on that.
And who are these people who experimented and, you know, followed in your footsteps?
I think we actually have some pictures, if I'm not mistaken. So there are various members of the congregation that tried it. So yeah, this is Aradhya making Ekadashi bread. It's very nice actually to see the children doing it, because it is really that easy. So if we can go through the various pictures, and we can see what inventive ideas some people have.
There's Sudarshan.
So there's Sudarshan, who already is a very good chef. And if we keep going. Yes, it was really, I mean, the really interesting thing about it was, I mean, look at the different results.
That's what you made.
Now, this is actually Radharoop made it.
Radharoop made it.
And people, because of the way the different people are good at cooking and different shapes they make, the breads are turning out in very professional sort of looking ways. And we actually found that even someone actually tried to make a pizza out of it on Ekadashi. So, which was, there you go. So, and it actually turned out really well. They were impressed with the base.
That's on an Ekadashi.
That's an Ekadashi. So, because literally you can use things like olive oil on Ekadashi. So the pizza sauce, even we tried it. You can actually use olive oil, basil, because basil is related to Tulsi, and you can make the actual tomato sauce for it like that. So it's really well done.
There you go.
And yeah, this is little Nimai rolling out the actual pizza base. And yeah.
And Priya made this because the children like to eat something pizza-like. They don't like Ekadashi.
Yeah, I don't think they're probably a big fan of samo, which
neither are you, I think.
Count myself in there as well. I'm not too much of a big fan of samo.
And so now, what would you advise to, you know, the boys? How difficult is it to make this? Because quite a few boys were involved there.
Well, some of you may think that I'm a world-renowned chef, but really the truth is I can only make two things well. Pasta and this bread, apparently.
Yeah, but you can roll a roti as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can roll. I have difficulty making it atta, but I can roll it. So yeah, this is actually. So one of the things I wanted to mention is you can actually make this in a normal bread tin. So this is one that I actually made yesterday, and what you do is you take the actual loaf and the actual dough, put it in a bread tin, and cover it with foil in the same way. And when you actually do this, it allows the inside to cook. So this is actually from a bread tin. So it looks like a proper bread loaf. So it doesn't have to be that. A lot of the videos you see soda bread just being made in like an open tray and having that nice round shape, which when you cut, you can't really put it in your toaster. Something like this, I put it in a bread tin and tried it. It was brilliant. And just make sure that the dough is light and fluffy when you're actually kneading it so that it fills with air nicely. And after that 35 minutes, take the foil off and it will turn into a full-on loaf of bread. And so you can slice it, and put it straight in the toaster. So you really don't need to go out to buy bread anymore. Not at all. Not that a lot of people are doing that nowadays because of COVID. So yeah, it's a really great opportunity to stop eating foods from outside in its entirety, which I think is what Srila Prabhupada wanted.
So you will remember COVID-19 for being able to make bread at home. And not
it's definitely been a cooking revolution, I think, for a lot of people, and especially the men. It's nice to see that the men getting involved in cooking, because very often we just leave it to the ladies. But we have to remember that we all eventually want to do all different kinds of services for the Lord. So it's very nice that the men actually become good at cooking. Because you see, like in our pujaris at the temple, they're all excellent cooks, and they're male beautifully, just the same as the Mataji. So we should all be able to do that, to be able to serve the Lord nicely.
This is very, very nice. So I'm going to give you a responsibility. You're going to find out for next week a chef, and then they will actually make a video of them cooking something, whatever it is, and you'll be responsible for that. So you are in charge of the chef's corner.
No problem.
Thank you so much. And now it's time for Aarti. We're slightly late, and but you know that is allowed because we are glorifying Krishna, the cooking and everything. So now we'll go over to the temple, and Damodar Prabhu will be singing Gora Aarti, and then we'll be singing the rest of the Aarti as well. So then there's announcements, and I would like to add that there is the Singer prayer will be sung for Hansraj Bhai Dokia. They passed away, and the family has actually sponsored the Boga for tonight. And we're really, really sorry to hear that, and we'll pray. And the gentleman's picture, I saw it, and I remember meeting him at the, Krishna temple. And, we're losing, as you're getting older, you're losing people you used to know, and it's quite saddening. But what can you do? That's how life is. So we'll be dedicating our prayers, the singing the prayer to Dokyaji. So now over to the temple and Damodar Prabhu for singing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Arati Kasubha Janavi Tatavane Jagaman Loba Janavi Tatavane Jagaman Loba Takirani Chan Mame Gadadar Nikate Adetasi Asa Chatadara Asi Ache Gora Chan Ratna Sihasane Arati Karena Aditeva Kare Narahari Adikori Chamara Dumaya रजनी बदन उज्ज्वल ढल दे से बनमाला और जलमाला शिव सुख नारद प्रेमे गद गद अतति विनोद देखी मुरार संपाद जय जय मुरा चंद आरती कसोबा जनवी तटवने जगमान लोभा गौरांगे आरती की शोभा जग जन मन लोभा गौरांगे आरती की शोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा जग जन मन लोभा नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रसाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने
विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रसाय श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाठ्यचार्यशतारिणे
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Sachidananda Jaya, Nitai Jaya, Sachidananda Jaya, Nitai Jaya. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jagannath Swami Jaya Jagatagami, Jaya Jagatagami, Bhavatumi.
Jagannath Swami, Jaya Jagatagami, Bhavatumi.
Nirajana Chanda Swami Jagannath, Nirajana Madhava Pyare Jagannath.
Nilachala Chandra Swami Jagannath, Nilachala Madhava Pyare Jagannath.
Jaya Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Shyam Sundar Pyare Jagannath.
Jaya Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Shyam Sundar Pyare Jagannath.
Jaya Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra.
Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman.
Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman.
Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman.
Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman.
Raghunandana Raghava Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare.
Raghunandana Raghava Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare.
Raghunandana Raghava Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare.
Raghunandana Raghava Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare.
Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare.
Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare, Siya Rama Hare.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय रमनिया
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमन जय जय राधा रमन
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 प्यारो राधा रमन प्यारो 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 राधा रमन
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय जय राधा माधव बोल जय जय राधा माधव बोल
जय जय राधा माधव बोल जय जय राधा माधव बोल
जय जय राधा श्याम सुंदर बोल जय जय राधा श्याम सुंदर बोल
जय जय राधा श्याम सुंदर बोल जय जय राधा श्याम सुंदर बोल
जय जय राधा गिरिधारी बोल जय जय राधा गिरिधारी बोल
जय राधा गिरिधारी बोल जय जय राधा गिरिधारी बोल
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल
जय मधुसूदन 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 जय मधुसूदन
जय मधुसूदन 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 जय मधुसूदन
जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन
जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन
जय मानी मानी जय मानी
जय मानी 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 जय मानी
जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद
जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Vishnupad Paramhans Parivargacharya Stotra Sachi Shrimadis Divine Grace Boy Charanarvinda Shila Prabhupada Pandacharya ISKCON Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhans Parivargacharya Stotra Sachi Shrimadis Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Anant Kori Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Sri Vrindavan Dham Mathura Dham Dwarka Desh Dham Ayodhya Dham Navdivdam Godrumadam Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Radha Kund Sham Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavind Ki Jai. Radha Gokulanand Ki Shri Radha Madhav Ki Jai Ho. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Ki Jai. Sankirtan Yagya Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Bhagavad Gita Ki Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Sri Ramayan Ki Sanatana Dharma Ki Bharat Maa Ki Go Mata Ki ISKCON Coventry Yatra Ki ISKCON Worldwide Yatra Ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Ho, Jai Ho. So now we are dedicating this prayers to somebody, colleague of somebody, Mallikarjun. We'll do the Singha prayer for them. He's been reported positive for COVID-19. He went to Bharat recently. And also, we mustn't forget Hansraj Bhai Dokyaji. His family has sponsored the evening boga, and he passed away, left us. And I do remember seeing him. A very nice gentleman. You see his wonderful smile. So really, our prayers and our thoughts are with the family, and hope we pull through. And it's very, very difficult times. And thank you for sponsoring, and may Lord give you peace, all of you. Jai. So namaste. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladayane. Praladayane. Hiranyakaya. Shilatankono Kaloye Shilatankono Kaloye Hitone Singa Baratone Singa Hitone Singa Baratone Singa Jatoya Toya Mitadone Singa Yatoya Toya Mitadone Singa Boye Singa Rigoye Singa Bani Singa Rigoye Singa Narsinga Modi Sharanam Prabhupada Narsinga Modi Sharanam Prabhupada Avakara Kamalore Natha Adbhuta Shingo Dolita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringa Eshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Avakara Kamalavane Naka Adbhuta Shringaya Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubrinda Keshavadrinda Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Jai Jagadishare Jayo Nrsingale 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 Jayo Nrsingale Jayo Nrsingale 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 Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jayo Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Lord Nrsimhadev ki jai, Bhakt Prahlad ki jai, Shri Prabhupada, Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. So once again, we'd like to thank all the viewers for tuning in. And there is Anil Anand, as always, is greeting. And Yashvade says Radhe Radhe, Neeraj Dal, Deepak Chavra, Raj Kumar, and Pranava, and Pragnesh Prabhu. And he liked the program, and there's many more there. We like feedback from the devotees and viewers who are watching, and then we're trying to make it more and more interesting every week, and it's wonderful. And we are really now aiming for Janmashtami. And you might think Janmashtami is going to be another regular program. No, it's going to be bigger than what's happening now on Sundays. We got a couple of children's musicals and also a drama for grown-ups. It's a musical as well, and depicting the argument that Krishna exists, because it's birth of Krishna on that day. And we want to really zoom into different people's homes and see how they've decorated their altar and what they've actually prepared that day for the Lordship. And remember, it's a fast. And so people will be fasting. And what we're doing is we're setting the program in such a way that you can actually see the midnight Aarti as well. And then you can complete your fast. So for all these preparations, Anuragi, is also involved in this. And Anuragi, so you're in touch with the children, and how are they responding? Are they excited?
Yeah, they're really excited, and we started our Zoom practice on Friday with Radha Roop, and all the children have been allocated their roles, so they're really excited and looking forward to taking part in the Janmashtami festival. So it's a good way of engaging, even though we're not together at the temple, but it's virtually we'll all be together.
I mean, does it really matter if you're not in the temple, because the children do feel that they are doing this for Krishna, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. They do feel connected, and they feel they can still do an offering to the deities via the video. So
this is really exciting. It's the first time ever we're doing Janmashtami.
Yes,
and normally it really gets packed at the temple, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
you have to cater for that. Yeah. But we're still doing the dressing up the altar and all those preparations, and there'll be families going in, some of them who are COVID free, I suppose, and with masks. I don't know how it's going to work out, but they'll be able to actually cook for the Lordship. And there will be an Abhishek as well, I believe.
Yeah, there will be an Abhishek.
Few people.
So all these events will be live broadcast from the temple, so do tune in and watch out for the links.
Yes, that's right. And when is Janmashtami? We've decided
12th of August, Wednesday. So it'll be live broadcast on Wednesday evening.
Yes. And I believe it's somebody's birthday the day before.
Oh.
Guru Sevak, so
yes,
she doesn't say. Yeah. So we won't be fasting for that day.
No, I think we're feasting and then fasting.
So you have some announcements?
So thank you to all the viewers again for tuning in. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Krishna of Vrindavan, and we'd like to welcome all the Facebook viewers as well. So we're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. Do follow us via Twitter, Instagram, ISKCON Coventry. Do click the bell icon on the YouTube channel when you do subscribe, so you'll get alerts, receive alerts for the live programs. Also this Wednesday we have a second Mataji's Ladies program. So that will be this Wednesday on Zoom. So if you would like to participate, the last session went really well. So all the ladies participated, shared their realizations and their kathas. Open to all the ladies who join in via video Zoom call. Just do send us an email, drop us a message for the details, and we'll send you the login details. Also, Chaturmasya period is going on right now, so we have received many Borga sponsorships. So thank you to all the people who are sponsoring the Borga in any morning or evening on your selected dates. So the Borga offering will be made on your behalf, on your name, and the Pujaris will send you a video blessing, personalized video blessing, thanking you for that. So you can book your Borga offering via the website, www.krishnavrindavan.com and pay by PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, you can contact one of the devotees and we can send you the bank details. Also, we'd like to thank the technical team for working so hard. Thank you to all of those who joined us via the interviews today. So Kiran Prabhu, Pragnesh Prabhu, Jay Radhe, and thank you for those who tried out the Chef's Corner recipes, and thank you for sending in your videos and footage.
And Nina sounded good.
And Nina sounded very, very nice. She sang very lovely. Thank you very much. And we'll be introducing more newer faces in the following program, so do watch out for the text invites.
Did you enjoy the class?
So the class was very, very nice by Raghupati Prabhu. So we will be looking forward to part 2 of Krishna Leela and Krishna pastimes. It was very nice to get into the mood now of in the run-up to Janmashtami, get into the mood of meditating on Lord Krishna's pastimes. So that's very, very nice. So thank you to all for joining us today, and please join us again, same time, same place next week. Hare Krishna.